Hello everyone, and welcome to this overview of PMCTrack's functionality for an Institutional Liaison, or IL. To start with the general orientation, after you log in, you'll get to your dashboard by selecting the appropriate role from this left-hand menu. Today, we will be viewing the Institutional Liaison dashboard for Lincoln Park Zoo. You can adjust the size of your dashboard by clicking on the arrow at the bottom, which will either close or open the green panel to the left. You can also adjust the size of the font on your screen by zooming in and out in your browser, typically hitting Control and the plus or minus keys, or using the scroll bar on your mouse. Your main information will be on the menu link Dashboard. However, you can also access all of your current and historical data restricted to the role you have selected in the Reports section. Let's look at the Program Overview Report. You can sort reports by clicking on the column headers. You can use the search bar at the top to search throughout the report. Reports can be exported using the Export button at the top right. Just click on it, and the report will download. And if you would like additional information about the report, you can click on the question mark next to the Export button for the help content. If you have tasks associated with surveys, either setting them up or taking them, you'll see a red number near the menu item. Though ILs typically do not have tasks, this menu will include all the tasks you have across all of your roles, such as if you have additional SSP coordinator or IR roles. So you'll always know what is due if you have many roles within the SSP system. For example, I have tasks for the following programs: bird tests and hornbill tests. Now to focus in on your dashboard. The first section is the program leaders at your facility. This table helps you keep track of your program leaders and their planning meetings. You can sort the table by clicking on the column header to see upcoming dates. You can see how your program leaders are meeting their accountability to AZA's deadlines and when they might have extra work for an upcoming planning meeting. An NA under AZA Accountability Deadline means that the SSP coordinator or step bookkeeper has not been assigned a deadline yet, whereas an NA under Date of Last Breeding and Transfer Plan means that they have not had a planning session with the PMC yet. A not scheduled under Date of Next Planning Meeting means we don't have a future planning date for them yet. The next section is the assigned IRs for your facility. This table helps you keep track of all the IRs that are assigned for SSPs at your facility. If you notice any of your IRs are incorrect or you need to assign an IR to a program, then you can click on the link under the table and it will take you to the AZA website so you can quickly and easily make updates to your IRs. Your IR's email addresses are also provided so you can spot any errors as these are essential for good communication between SSPs and your facility when SSPs are planning. The next two sections are the upcoming planning meeting sections for your SSPs using PMCTrack surveys and those not using PMCTrack for surveys. SSPs planning in the next 2 months will show up in these two sections. SSPs that are using PMCTrack's automated surveys to collect your facility's wants and needs and to respond to outcome surveys will show up in this first section. Your main goal with this table is monitoring that your IRs have completed the surveys and your facility's perspective is fully represented. Your IRs need to respond by the survey due date. A link under the table will take you to a report showing all of your IR survey responses, both active and historical, which may be helpful in evaluating IR performance and responsiveness. If you are involved with SSPs that are planning in the next 2 months but are not using PMCTrack for surveys, then you will see a table with their planning meeting dates, your IR, and the SSP coordinator. You can confirm with your IRs whether they are aware that the SSP planning meeting is coming up and information regarding that species will be collected soon. Both of these sections will allow you to keep track of the status of all planning meetings, regardless if they are using PMCTrack for surveys or not. If there are no SSPs that your facility is involved with that have planning meetings in the next 2 months, then one or both of these sections will display a message to that effect. The last section is the Recommendation Outcomes section. This section will display 2 graphs with your facility's recommendation outcomes in comparison with those across all SSPs, AZA-wide. These outcomes are based on whether the recommendation issued in a breeding and transfer plan was carried out as requested before the next plan was issued. The current outcomes graph represents data from the most recent plan with outcomes calculated for each SSP at your facility. You should recognize that the sample sizes will likely be much smaller in this graph compared to the second graph, but it will illustrate how your facility has been doing with the most recent recommendations that could be evaluated by PMCTrack. The All Recommendations graph shows data from all the historical recommendations that have been issued to your facility since 2000. To dive a little deeper into the graphs, if we look at the current outcomes for breed width recommendations, we can see that 22.41% of the breed width recommendations at Lincoln Park Zoo resulted in a birth in the stud book before the next plan was issued. If you are involved with SSPs that do not have a previous breeding and transfer plan or do not have animal-by-animal recommendations, then PMC cannot calculate any outcomes for them and they will not be included in the figures. If you would like to see the recommendations outcome data in an Excel format, then you can click on the link at the bottom to the Facility Recommendation Outcomes Report. That's it for the content on the Institutional Liaison dashboard. Some extra features of the dashboard include search bars, export buttons, and help content icons. Whenever you see them, you can use them. Maybe you would like to limit the sections you are viewing so you can focus in on one in particular. Just click on the header title, and the section will be minimized. To view again, just click on the header title. This way, you can customize your dashboard. That's it for the walkthrough of how ILs can use the new and improved PMCTrack site. If you have any questions, please email us at pmctrack@lpzoo.org. Thank you.